Welcome to the Krinzman Property Playbook, where we dive deep into the heart of South Florida's real estate scene. I'm your host, Matthew Krinzman, here to guide you through the strategies, insights, and community connections that make buying and selling real estate a science. If you're looking to move beyond the basics, build trusted relationships, and grow your understanding of this competitive market, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll be bringing on local pros, from attorneys to contractors, to give you the inside scoop on what it really takes to succeed in real estate. So whether you're an investor, buyer, or just curious about the market, let's kick things off and get you one step closer to your real estate goals. Welcome to the Playbook.
All right. Hello, everyone out there in the internet and the ethernet of the world. Today, I have a guest on name is Tory Ricalis. And my name is Matthew Krinzman. I'm the host of this podcast called the Krinzman Property Playbook. Just a quick background. I'm a broker associate here in South Florida with One Sotheby's International Realty, and I've been at this for a very long time. And today, the topic we like to talk about real estate and things that go on in real estate. And today we're talking something that's an important part of real estate and transactions, especially title. And today we have Tory Ricalis of Titl, Titl, with us today to talk about the title world. And so welcome, Tory. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you already told me a little bit off air, but tell us just a quick bio on you and how you got to this place in time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. And looking forward to our chat. So my name is Tory Ricalis, CEO and co-founder of Titl. My background is in condo development as well as construction management. And I've since shifted my focus into the title space. And basically what Titl does is we use AI to automate title reports within minutes rather than waiting a week to get your title report. We're able to do it in sub 5 minutes. Then we take that information, we store that on the blockchain with a goal of creating a uniform digital land registry. In the United States, it's very fragmented. Every county has 6 or 7 different databases that you need to go into to extract this information in order to create a title report. So our goal is to, smooth out the title report process and how we deliver that information and how quickly we deliver that information. And then the second part is obviously putting that on the blockchain, again, for security purposes, as well as just creating a nice digital database that's uniform across the United States. And basically, we were born in Miami. We were raised in Miami in terms of the company Titl itself. And we've been live for about a year and a half now, but we've been building for approximately 3 years.
So you're live for about a year now, been building this for 3 years. So take us through the process of this. Look, I obviously, as a real estate agent, I'm fairly familiar with what title is. I work obviously a lot in the closing process. Title insurance is a very important part of the deal and the contract and of the closing process. So tell us, for those who don't understand exactly what title is, tell us quickly a 10,000 foot overview of what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And title's a very nuanced business. Essentially what happens is, to Matthew's point, at the end of closing, prior to the money transferring out of escrow, you run a title report. And that title report goes through taxes, liens, mortgages, deeds, encumbrances, lease pendants, HOA, etc. A whole swath of information.
Permits.
To ensure, permits, code violations, like a crazy amount of information. And basically what happens is a title company will have title clerks. They go through all the databases. They amalgamate they follow the chain of title to ensure that all the information that they're copying is correct, mortgage is correct, the names on the documents are correct, etc.
Sure.
And you could potentially get to closing and realize, oh my God, there's a lien on my property for $50,000 due to I paid a contractor out. That contractor failed to pay a subcontractor out when they were doing work on my home. And that could derail the whole process of closing on your home on time.
100%. I've seen that happen. Seen it happen. Mechanics liens pop up. They don't have the cloud on the title, things like that. Yeah. And you're like, wait, how do we eventually it gets cleared up, but it may extend now the closing process or the period of time. And or maybe sometimes it's something you can't overcome, and that does happen. But how is Titl, your company, streamlining that? So I, as a real estate agent or even as an owner, know before I go to list my property, that there's not these issues that could pop up in the process of when I do go into contract, and the title processor is doing their job of going through the title. What can we do to streamline that or not avoid that in that process beforehand?
Yeah, no, and great question. So what we do is we encourage brokerages, owners, etc., prior to listing a home to run a title report. And the reason being is, to your point, Matthew, is when you get to closing, that way it doesn't derail the whole sale.
Yeah.
So what we do, we're able to essentially populate a title report in sub 5 minutes.
How many minutes?
We have
sub 5. Okay.
Sub 5 minutes. Yeah, wow. That's correct. And what we do is we have a title commitment portion on it, which shows you exactly what needs to be done prior to the home being cleared. Then we have a summary page. We have mortgage, tax, etc., liens, code violation, the whole 9 yards on the report. And what we do is we offer hyperlinks on the report, so you can go in and see the root file as well directly from the government website. But we really push brokerages, people who are selling their homes, etc., to run a title prior to getting down the whole path. And Matthew, I'm sure as a broker yourself, you spend X amount of marketing dollars, X amount of time on trying to sell this home. Yes. And when you get to closing, you want to ensure that you're getting your commission.
Yeah, we want to get paid. Yeah. Obviously, we want to get closed and we want to get paid. We want we want the transaction to be as smooth as possible, especially just want it to be smooth as possible. There's no speed bumps. There's always bumps, but we don't want a mountain that come in, smack into a mountain in the middle, and then the whole thing is derailed. Obviously, for the seller and the buyers, that's just not myself as a broker, but obviously there's a lot of other people involved who want to see the transaction close successfully.
Correct. Yeah. So our goal is to do that. And again, we believe that the more data you have up front,
yes,
prior to selling or prior to buying a home, the better decision you can make. And what we do is we offer, it's called Title Check. So essentially what we do is we sell to brokerages, broker listing websites, and basically at the time of listing the home, your home would be checked. Hypothetically speaking, Matthew, if you had your one Sotheby's listing website, Matthew Krinzman, and you have all your listings on there, as you upload your listing on your page, we would do a cursory check to ensure that title is clean of any encumbrances, so that way you know that you're able to close on time, efficiently, etc. And go ahead.
Just you mentioned that you can have something in under sub 5 minutes. Based on my experience, this is when we get the title, when the title is being done, it takes way longer than 5 minutes normally. So how is Titl, your company, able to keep that down from, like, really, if you're going to sub 5 minutes with something with, I have seen it personally in my own experience, days, if not weeks, sometimes. How are you able to streamline it that quickly or really get it down to that time?
Yeah, so we use a lot of technology in the back end, but you would know. So we're not forcing technology down your throat. We do it in the background. You get a nice PDF report that you're able to use, easy to read. A layman's can read it without really having to understand the 30, 50, 60, 100 pages of documents that a title examiner would need to, who's been doing this for years and years, to understand it. So we use a combination of AI models that essentially go out into the interwebs, as we say, and amalgamate all this information from municipal websites, databases, etc. And at the same time, we cross-reference all that. So, for example, Joe Smith is a very common name.
Sure. Yeah.
You might pull a Joe Smith, and the Joe Smith there may be 1,000 Joe Smiths. So how do you know that this Joe Smith is associated? Is associated with 123 Collins Ave, right?
Yeah.
And his mortgages are associated with that property. His judgments are associated with him and that property. So our AI model that we've trained over the last 3 years is able to do that in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
It parses through all that information, cross-references various databases and data points to ensure that's the proper person, and amalgamate all that information, spit it out to our clients, and then we take that information, we store it on the blockchain for future use, because the hopes is to eventually be able to transact using the blockchain, and that's getting ahead of ourselves. But we constantly run those titles that we have in our database to ensure that it's the most up-to-date information at any given time.
That's amazing, because it's what you just brought up about like a John Smith being a very popular name. I've seen it happen plenty of times where the names, there's people with similar names, and they have, oh, this person's in jail or is on an OFAC list, which is, for those out there who don't know what OFAC is, the Office of Financial something. Like, basically, you're not a bad guy who's doing money laundering or is on a list that you can't transact. You can't do any business in the United States. And actually, it's fun. I just had it back in, I guess it was April, at a closing, and Titl came up, the seller's name. I had the buyer. The seller's name was similar to someone else's, and it was like 10 pages. It says this, and I had to go through it. And it was like, it popped up late. It was like a few days before closing. I remember the attorney who was representing the buyer, because he was going through Titl. He was one doing the title, and he said, "Wow, there's a lot of stuff to go through here." But you had to get the exceptions. This is not me. This is not the seller. And so the idea here is obviously to save that headache. Really, it's a headache, and
Correct.
Save that time by having this up front. So you're able to access these databases, from my understanding what you're telling me, where these
Correct.
things could come up, where a person could have a lawsuit. Are you able to, just not, like say South Florida, Miami-Dade County, the courts is fairly easy to access, but around the country, not all so easy. Are you able to access, or are you around the country, or are you just in certain areas right now where you can access that information?
So the goal is, right now we're strictly in Florida,
Okay.
and we're expanding next month, basically nationally. Our focus is on 104 counties, which represent around 80% of the US populations. That's our goal, because 20% of the counties in the US still operate with paper.
Yeah.
And you have to go into the courthouse on a Thursday, see Sylvia at the desk there, and live in
The title bank,
to record information. Right. So we're not concerned about those areas as of yet. Again, if we can conquer 80% of the US, we're laughing. But our goal eventually is to go in and partner up with these counties and bring their records up to date and digitize them. So that's another service we offer, is working with counties and going, hey, we can amalgamate all this information for you to allow your county clerks and the people that work for you to basically process a lot quicker, take down man hours, and help streamline the process from the county perspective. So that's another angle that we work on as well.
So you're able to. So the idea here for your company is to partner with the local governments and the clerks of courts, and be a partner with them and offer them this as a tool to obviously streamline their process as well.
Correct.
And be a partner with them, or whatever, you're charging them a fee. Obviously, it's not free, but to come on board and work with them.
Absolutely. The goal is to ensure that everyone's data is secure, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, if you're a tax-paying citizen in your county, you want to make sure that your tax money is going to the proper things. Police services, firefighters, EMS,
Trust me, I know.
Not to 1,000 county clerks that need to be in a back room going through various information.
You mean the bureaucrats.
Literally. Exactly. And technology isn't going to take away people's jobs. It's going to make people's lives easier.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm
glad you put that
and we're
together.
not trying to take away anyone's jobs. Like, the goal is, hey, I'm doing 100 man hours worth of work in 2 weeks. I could get that down to 20 and have a great life, still make good money. All I need to do is essentially use the tools I have to create a better workflow for everyone in the process.
There's a cost savings associated with that too. Now, the time,
Absolutely.
And then the time savings, then it equates to a cost savings. And if you can save, look, government loves to spend money, but if you can keep it from spending money, we're not saying saving, just keep it from spending more and reduce the costs, that makes everyone happy, especially us, me, us and me and everyone else who's paying their property taxes every year. I know that property taxes now being a whole different discussion here in the state of Florida. Yeah. Thank you to the governor. But look, I see my bill and I'm like, you break it down. I'm like, wow, do we really need to spend all that money? But look, yeah, if you could save some money somewhere, great, let's do it. Or reduce the cost. That's really that's the idea, is you want to reduce costs and save the time. I'm just curious, because I know we're spending a little bit of time on this. When I asked how you are able to get that information so quickly, one thing I see is always on the title process or the closing process is when they're going to get the permit searched and look for the permits searches from the cities, or either the city, the municipality, then it's the county, depending on where you are. That seems to take a very long time. Sometimes you have to physically go and request that. I think, like, you may want to help the city of Hollywood. I live in Hollywood. You may want to knock on their door about this, because it's a pain. It's a pain point and a pressure point, because they're like, oh yeah, if you want us to rush it, you're gonna have to pay us this. If you want the regular 30-day by donkey to deliver it to you, it's going to be this, which is, again, it's not time saving and it's not cost effective either way. So how do you work with those who don't have this stuff online? Because I've looked, certain cities or counties do not have these permit or liens that you can see, hey, we cite the citations on the property. How do you work that, or how do you overcome that?
Yeah. So again, our goal is to form partnerships. Right now, specifically in Miami-Dade, we haven't ran into any issues.
Miami-Dade's a little bit better about things. I'll give them credit. They're more efficient, at least the county-wise. On the county line, their system, you can go online and you can find pretty much everything you need to know. I think City of Miami is pretty decent about that too. I'm sure I think Miami Beach may be a little bit, but yeah, sorry, go on. And so how are you forming these partnerships?
No. To your point. So you have 7 cities essentially in Miami-Dade County, and there are some nuances. And this is what I'm talking about, the fragmentation and how we want to create a digital land registry that's uniform. Right. Because it's painstaking, to your point. You have some counties or some cities where you have to go into, knock on the door, say, hey, I need this. I want to close on my home. Okay, then you got to pay an extra fee to rush. And again, our goal is just to partner up with these companies. Like, the way we offer it is no upfront cost to them. And then to run our database, you pay a small fee, which is pennies on the dollar, considering what they spend on man hours in order to go and file that or retrieve that information. So it's all about creating relationships with the county clerks, city mayors, anyone that we can possibly, create relationships with. And we've had tremendous success, specifically in Miami-Dade. And as we move to Broward County and Palm Beach, we're continuing to have good success as well. But again, our goal is not to take anyone's jobs, not to get anyone fired, but just to streamline the process to ensure that everyone is able to get information when they need it, when they want it, and it's securely done. Because, Matthew, as you South Florida, they call it a sunny place for shady people.
And, oh my God. This is the second time today this is referenced back. I don't know if you mentioned you had seen a couple of my podcasts. Correct. There was a podcast a few months ago about due diligence with actually a friend of mine, Mark Hurwitz, who runs an investigation company here in South Florida called X Investigations or Crossroads Investigations. And we talked about due diligence. And the title, one of the things a little short clip I made was, and he actually mentioned it, what you just said, it's a sunny place for shady people. And he said that. And actually, it's one I made a short clip, and that was the title of it. So today is the second reference back to this. So what you do, just to reference back to another podcast, you're doing due diligence on the real estate side, on the title, and he's doing the due diligence on who you're doing business with, essentially. So it works together in a way. But I like how you said that. I like that. It's a great reference.
It is. And again, I love Florida.
I'm from here. I'm born and bred, man. I get it.
It's title fraud, mortgage fraud, property fraud, all sorts of fraud. And Miami is the breeding ground. It's the heartbeat of the United States for all of this.
100%. Unfortunately.
Our goal again, it is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, right? And our goal again is to protect the residents of Miami, the residents of Florida, because we want to ensure that, think about it. Your home is your largest purchase typically of your lifetime, right?
Yes.
God forbid someone's able to go in, change the warranty deed, and all of a sudden assume your property. And it happens daily. It happens weekly. It happens hourly. And now with the prevalence of AI, and Matthew, I could go on a program. I could assume you. I could assume
I've
your
already
voice.
heard this happening. I've heard from other people in the business in real estate on the lending side or also on my side, and people have gone with the AI, with the advent of AI. People have gone they've upped their game on the whole scamming part, and it's out there. And this is something we really need to keep an eye on and keep monitoring, because it's leaps and bounds from it used to be just a telephone or a mail.
That's it.
Now it's someone can go and take my image, and if they're really good at manipulating AI or the prompts or getting a good AI program, they can create an AI avatar of me and go to town.
That's exactly it. And to your point, it's happened numerous times over the last couple months. We've had phone calls because another service we offer is the title monitoring.
Okay, great.
So,
that's glad. Yes.
Yeah. So it's similar to your credit monitoring, but it's the health of your home. There's some counties that kind of offer basically just your warranty deed they monitor,
which
isn't sufficient.
Yeah.
I mean, the warranty deed is one component, right? So what we do is you sign up for our title monitoring, and basically we monitor warranty deed, we monitor mortgage, we monitor permits, we monitor liens, we monitor every tax, we monitor judgments, we monitor every little thing in regards to the health of your home. Because again, my earlier comment about you pay off a contractor, that contractor has a subcontractor, that subcontractor didn't get paid from the contractor. Now they're able to put a mechanical lien on your home. And you may not know for months and months.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Maybe until you get to closing, you don't know.
That's exactly it. So what we do is we notify immediately via text, via email that, hey, something has changed on your mortgage, tax, lien, deed, permit, code, etc. And we notify you immediately. And then we have live help, lawyers, etc., that are able to walk you through the process, mitigate any additional fraud, and basically stop it in its tracks. So that's another service we offer, and I wanted to segue into that based on my comment.
No, it's a good segue. You did. It was very smooth.
Thank you.
I find you. I'm glad you mentioned it, because I get at least a couple of times, maybe once a month, a letter from the property appraisers for Broward County, who's Marty Kerr, and they're saying the same thing, like, hey, you want to sign up to have your deed or your warranty deed monitored. Protect yourself. And I've actually seen some more, and now I'm seeing more commercials for it on TV where they're talking about it from the county level. I haven't really seen any companies saying, hey, sign up with us, like what you're offering as far as title, just keep monitor the title. But people, if you're watching this and you're listening to this, what Tory is talking about is very important. Maybe that's not just in Florida and South Florida, but around the whole country, because this is a prevalent scheme and a scam that can really damage someone's life. Forget credit, life. Because next thing you know, if you could be an unfortunate victim, and you're gonna knock on a door, and it's the sheriff coming to evict you for something that you have no idea about. You didn't take out the loan, but someone faked you and did. So this is a really good, very good words of advice. Even if you don't sign up for service, but at least check out with your local property appraiser, tax office, and protect yourself some way, somehow. Yeah. That's really good advice.
Matthew, and to your point, it's not just in Florida. Actually, Graceland, the home of Elvis Presley.
I heard about this. Yes.
Last year.
Yes.
Yeah. So last year, a person put it up for sale.
I heard about that.
And
that was crazy.
The process, it almost closed.
Yeah.
Right? If it wasn't such a famous property, and it's the old guy that sold the London Bridge or whatever back in the day, or the bridge. But that's how intricate these scams are getting. It's amazing. Crazy. Famous property like Graceland, the home of Elvis Presley, and that went to sale. And that's just crazy, right? And again, we're seeing it all over the United States. And the big thing is, to your point, Matthew, sheriff all of a sudden coming out to evict you from the home that you own, that you put your life savings into, that is the safety net for your family, where your family feels safe. That is, to me, the scariest thing that can happen, right?
It would be terrifying. I wouldn't know how to. I hope this doesn't happen to anyone that's listening or watching, but if it does, lawyer up really hard on that point, because you're going to need all the legal help you can get. But if you can avoid it, or there's a way to help avoid it, then what you offer what was it called again that you called Titl check?
Titl alert.
Titl alert, sorry. Yeah, Titl alert. If you offer that service. So you offer, is it a monthly, yearly subscription? How does that work with your company?
We do a monthly subscription, $18 a month to start
That's
at.
nothing.
I think, it's $199 for the year. I spend way more than that on my credit monitoring.
Yeah, I do too.
Again,
yeah. I have every single one. I don't care. The more the better. My kid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because Experian doesn't talk to TransUnion
and
or
Equifax.
This one. Exactly. Yeah. Right. So you have all these, and I'm the same way. I got 3 of them signed up now just to ensure that and again, you get the emails every week. Your email is part of a breach
of the dark
that
web
happened.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just very important. Yeah. It's very important now. And if you guys have ever been, or if anyone is going through that process right now, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll point you in the right direction.
Right.
We have experts on our team that deal with this daily, and they know how to navigate these situations.
So when you work with title agent, you work with title agents as well, I'm assuming. So you work with attorneys or escrow title companies who write title in the state of Florida and hopefully soon outside the state of Florida. So how do you provide that service to them? How do you come to them and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Escrow Company or title company XYZ, we have this service. Here's what we can help you with. How do you integrate with a title company or a title agent?
No, great question. And we have partnerships with some of the top dogs in Miami-Dade and in Florida. And what they do is they go to their clients prior to closing. They say, hey, listen, we have an additional service for you guys. You don't need to take it. We recommend taking it with all the fraud going on. And it's been well received thus far. But yeah, our goal is we partner up with as many title companies, lawyers, et cetera, as we can. And even a big thing we deal with now is mortgage brokers. So an asset manager or a mortgage broker has all these loans out, doesn't know what's going on basically with any of these loans that he's loaned out. That person he loaned out to could have been an A-plus lendee at the time. Now, hey, guess what? They've taken out multiple private mortgages. They've taken out this, they've taken out that, tax delinquencies. They're now went from an A-plus lendee to a C lendee. So now they're in breach of contract with that mortgage lender, and that mortgage lender could go, okay, guys, listen, I'm coming in. We're going to sell the home. Something shady's going on here. So so we do asset managers, property managers, mortgage lenders. Our main focus is B2B though. We sell to the title companies, and the title companies sell to their clients.
Okay, great. So you talked about the blockchain. Now, the blockchain for a lot of people is something you've heard about for a while now. And it's this thing that just people try to explain it, and like most people, it's glaze right over. So you're telling me I need a token and there's a key, and so how does just give me for those who are you're not well versed in what the blockchain is. How is this blockchain that you're using protecting me or anyone else out there with your company having title on there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a great question. And again, a lot of people associate blockchain with cryptocurrency and associate it with a scam coin or some sort of meme coin, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because listen,
it's a very easy thing to scam.
It is, exactly. I've been in crypto since 2011, bought my first Bitcoin back then.
You'd be very happy today.
I'm very happy, very happy. But again, I'm not a fan of the cryptocurrency. I'm a fan of blockchain technology. And what blockchain is, in essence, is a big database.
Okay.
It's a publicly viewed database. You can have semi-private and public. And basically, all we do is we take that information, we upload it to our blockchain, and our blockchain partner is Polymesh, and they are associated with real-world assets. So everything that's minted on that blockchain is basically a real-world share of a company, property ownership, etc. And all it does is we have essentially control over this to ensure that no one's able to go in and change any details of the deed that is in that token.
Okay.
And basically, you have a trillion eyes on it because you got people from all over the world. You got node validators, et cetera, watching all this happen. So no one can go in and just change something like a piece of paper. You can go forge a piece of a document. You're not being able to change anything that's on the blockchain that is signed on, visually there for everyone to see. There's a trail of every transactions on a blockchain. And again, all it is a big database, but we're not associated with any cryptocurrency. We're not associated with any coins, nothing like that. All it is, again, you would never know that you're even transacting on the blockchain. What we do is we send you your title. That information goes on the blockchain, and we update that information anytime that title's moved.
Just out of curiosity, do you ever see this? Is there? I've heard this before, talked about a lot. Title insurance. You see this now all becoming part of the blockchain of what you're doing, all coming together with all these title insurance companies that are out there. Is it like Chicago Title, and then there's American, and a few others out there. That being becoming a replacement, or joining together and working together?
So I love this question, Matthew. I'm so happy that you went this route. So listen, we all need title insurance, right? We may not understand it, but we all need it. You need it in order to close on your home if you're getting
especially if you're getting a mortgage. Yes. You can go without it if you're going cash, but that's up to you.
Yeah, that's up to you. You take the risk.
Yeah.
So I'll just give you a little bit of data from 2022.
Okay.
Americans paid in $26.9 billion to title companies.
26, how much? 29?
$26.9 billion paid into title insurance companies.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how much they paid out?
$1.
$475 million is what was paid out. So that ratio, I mean, 26.9 billion to 475 million, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that considered is that a bad thing or a good thing? That means because
to me, it's a bit of both.
Okay.
So why are title insurance premiums so high if the payout is always so, right? The risk obviously isn't that great to a degree if I'm only paying out 475 million, but I'm making 26.4 billion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we are partnering with title insurance companies to ensure that title insurance will always be around. It's never going to be replaced. But I think that premiums can come down, and I think payouts can come down as well, right? So with the blockchain technology, you're able to monitor, you're able to see, you're able to ensure that there is no more fraudulent activity going on that would a title insurance company to pay out a premium. So we're in talks right now with a lot of the big guys. We're in talks right now with a lot of the small guys. And basically, we are forming partnerships with them to just streamline their processes, streamline their security, and ensure that they're as secure as can be. But again, I don't think title insurance is going away. I just hope that the premiums come down and that the payouts go down to next to nothing. Listen, at the end of the day, if something were to happen during a transaction, something is recorded incorrectly and you don't have title insurance, you're screwed.
Yeah. Look, I have two brothers who are in the business, real estate attorney side, and they write title, and they would usually most of the time advise, even in any transaction, get the title insurance, have that as a prop, and God forbid something happens, you have it, and there's attorneys who will argue on your behalf as the buyer or the owner of the property who has the title insurance to help you make your claim, and hopefully you get paid, like you said. The payouts from what they're collecting and what they're paying out is quite low, but it's like having health insurance. It's just something you should have, especially when something this big of a purchase, your biggest purchase for the most part for anyone, other than getting married. That's a whole other purchase. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other group of costs involved. But that's always for a good thing. But owning a home is a good thing. You want to protect yourself as much as possible. So I like what you said there, that you guys are, your company, and I'm sure there's a few other companies out there who are operating in this space, are trying to do the same thing, which anything that helps streamline and make it more efficient, God bless. Look, I started this when I started as a real estate broker and agent. It was 1997, which is a very long time ago. It's we didn't have the technology we had then was maybe if you had a pager. Some people, I remember getting a cell phone, but the cell phone was worthless because you couldn't use it because it's like your minutes would be eaten up in a second. You got to wait till 9 o'clock at night for free minutes. And who am I talking to at 9 o'clock at night about business if it's not a girl at that point? And then you walked around with quarters in your pocket to make things like that. And you had to wait by the fax machine. I actually remember taking contracts to the other office physically. Here's the contract. But then I think then as the cell phone advanced, especially then the BlackBerry, that was a game changer because now you have your email. You got emails on your respond. And then when companies started also doing away with giving more minutes or free minutes, whatever it was, and then the iPhone. And that changed everything. As much as the computer changed everything, the internet made a lot of changes, but the phone then made it even more accessible and more streamlined because now, look, I'm accessible 24/7. Although everyone's listening to this, I do put my phone on Do Not Disturb at 9 o'clock at night. So do not call me. Or if you call me, it's going to go straight to voicemail, and I'm not going to see it until my phone comes back on at 8:32 a.m. Don't ask me why it's 8:32 a.m. It's just a psychological thing. The accessibility there, the information it's so much information. And like you're digging through all this information on title, permits, and liens that it just helps everyone know where they stand when they're going to sell. Now, as an agent, I think this is a great tool to have for me. I mean, look, I don't know what I didn't ask. What do you charge as for when agents want to make sure that the property they're selling or about to list has no issues? What's the fee on that?
Yeah. So usually what we do a subscription-based model, but typically we start at $40 per kind of the title check. Not the title report itself, but the title check that would just be on your website that, hey, yeah, this property's good to go. And then the more volume you have, obviously, we get down to $25. But it's all based on volume for us, but it's very efficient. Listen, for yourself, Matthew, if you're a real estate broker, you want to ensure that the properties you're listing are able to sell and close on time.
100%.
What's $40?
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
In your marketing budget?
It's a drop in the bucket at that point. $40 is nothing. I spend $40 just walking out the door every morning before I even get to my car. So $40, and look, if anyone, especially the real estate agents, we know $40 is nothing to spend on marketing. That's part of our pack, whatever. Sure. I would spend it gladly. And now that I know this is much more easily accessible, because there used to be a time if you really had some questions, you'd call up an attorney friend or someone who had a title company, ask them to run a title, do a title check for you. And that'll take a few days and it'll cost you whatever it costs you. I don't know, maybe $100, a couple $100, because you're paying for the time of their paralegal really to do the digging, and they have. And
that's it.
Yeah,
you're paying for the man hours, right? And that's what we reduce. So again, I just want to reiterate, our goal is never to take away anyone's jobs or anything like that. It's to streamline processes and ensure that the people that are supposed to do what they're doing are doing it efficiently and in a timely manner, because I bought and sold a couple homes, and it is a painstaking process. And this is what led my partner and I to creating Titl, is just, holy smokes, why is it so difficult to buy a house? I want to give you my money. I want to get my house. Why does it take so long? And so we just saw a gap in the market, and we've carved ourselves out a nice little niche, and it's all about just streamlining processes, making your life easier as a broker, making my life easier as a seller or a buyer, making the escrow agent's life easier, making everyone's life easier. Yeah. It shouldn't be difficult. And Florida was, I think, the first state, if I'm not mistaken, during COVID to offer online notary.
That was
a game changer.
It's a game changer, but now you got, because of AI, now it may make it, you have to go back in person because of what AI is able to do.
So we have steps built into that. So what we do is, so basically we have a notary that we work with, an online notary. Everyone's KYC, AML'd prior to, your biometrics are all scanned prior to you logging in.
Awesome.
And basically, our goal at the end of the day is to create a portal where everyone logs into. Transaction can occur almost instantaneously because all the information's already in that portal. It's all been by AI, and we're pushing for legislation at the government level to get to that point. But in the next 10 years, that's where I see everyone going. And to your earlier comment, you're going to be able to transact a house, sell a house, or buy a house from the comfort of your own phone on a beach beside Haulover Inlet there down the road, right?
Which part of Haulover are we talking about? The north side or the south side? Because the north side...
The south side, the Ritz there. The north side, the public beach, which is still nice.
No, it's very nice, but the north side also is, I don't know, where you may run into somebody who's not wearing any clothes.
That's true.
Maybe. People, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a new beach in Haulover Beach in the Sunny Isles Beach. So there you go. But I have a funny story because I actually grew up in Sunny Isles. So that's, yeah.
That's awesome.
So I like everything. Like what you said, I just want to give you money for the house and give me the keys. And I always joke about that. I'm like, shouldn't be this. It's not rocket science that we're dealing here with. But look, the contracts have gone from 4 pages now to 17 pages because lawyers get involved, government gets involved. People have been sued because that's why they keep on adding things. And it's just, I was like, this should be a simple transaction. Here's the keys. Give me my money. Let me transfer it to my account. God bless. See you later.
That's it.
Hopefully we get there. I just don't. I'm a little more pessimistic about that because I think there's too many hands in the pot where you're just never going to be able to streamline. I think you can streamline, save the time part. I think that will help. But I'm thinking that the contracts are still never going to get to 1 page again or something like that, 2 pages, because there's too many lawyers and too many governmental officials involved.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with that. But now with AI, I can basically create a Schedule A with all the information that we have. It's already auto-populated for you. I can develop that in a couple minutes. So that's where I think, again, you're going to see the help. And we may not ever get there, to your point, because there is a lot of hands in the bucket there, but I truly hope we do, for our sake, your sake.
Look at all this gray I got. And I'm only 26. Just kidding. But no, it's stressful. And if any way you can at least take a little bit of the stress off, just a little bit, it helps. It helps everyone. It's a good mental state to be in when there's a little bit less stress. People are feeling good about the transaction. They're feeling good about the home they're buying. The seller feels good about the home they're selling. The agents involved all feel good because we know there's transparency there, which I think is the whole idea originally of blockchain was to create transparency, right? That was the whole idea when people created crypto is one thing because you're trying to hide, but the blockchain part of it was we want to open it, we want to democratize it so everyone can see that there's I'm not hiding anything here. Exactly. I'm showing you all my cards. We're not playing poker. I'm showing you all my cards. Here it is. Great. Let's make the transaction as clean and as clear and quickly as possible, which I hope is coming, because if we can keep on streamlining those timelines and keep the timelines down, then you just save the time, you save the money in the long run also, and that's great too.
And your home purchase should be the second happiest day of your life other than your marriage. But again, to your earlier comment, it's typically everyone's scrambling at the last minute.
Oh, I've been there. I'm usually calm.
Well, there's no point.
Yeah, I'm normally people like friends of mine joke, or actually a good friend of mine joked to clients he just referred to me. He goes, well, listen, with Matthew, he's not going to get emotional about anything. He's going to keep it very steady. But trust me, there's a storm brewing in there like the day before closing, and no one's responding because no one knows what's going on. And you're like, and then everyone's calling me like, why don't you know? I'm like, so there's a storm. There's always a storm, but you got to keep it down. You got to keep it low pressure. And if there's any more tools we can apply or bring to the business of real estate to make it smoother, the less the storm is, and the happier everyone is, and the happier I will be. But everyone will be happy, obviously. So just to close up, who does Titl want to know? What companies or what people or industries does Titl want to get to know or work with and create partnerships with down the road or now?
Yeah, no, thank you for that. Great question. So Titl, we want to work with brokerages. We want to work with underwriters. We want to work with title agents, title clerks, lawyers and government clerks.
I gotta get you in touch with Hollywood, man. I gotta figure it out.
Hey, listen, if you know someone there, we're in conversation with quite a few cities and towns and counties, but any intros will help, Matthew. And I just want to say, really appreciated our conversation today.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was fun because it's actually quite an interesting subject that we're talking about, especially when you talk about technology, AI, the blockchain, and that people shouldn't be scared of it. We're not, but really help understand, or at least just go with it and accept that, hey, there's things that are going to help you in the business or in your life in general. So this was a lot of fun because I got to talk about something I know about. Obviously, this podcast is about stuff that I know about or I want to learn more about. Tell you the truth, this is a great learning experience. So agents, real estate agents, real estate brokerages, title companies, title agents, attorneys, local and state level governmental bureaus are something that you obviously want to get with and expand your business with. So how do we find you? Where can we find Titl? Or where can we get in touch with Tory?
You guys can reach out via our website, www.titl.co. You can look me up on LinkedIn, ToryRicalis. And I would love to hear from anyone out there in the interwebs, Ethernets, wild world of the internet, the wild, wild west.
Yep.
And listen, we're here to help. If you guys want to learn more about AI, if you want to learn more about blockchain and how it's being used in real estate, title, etc., we're here to teach. We're here to help. Matthew said, you can't be scared of it. It's coming.
Yeah.
You want to learn about it. You want to be somewhat knowledgeable about it, to be comfortable with it. And that's the whole thing, creating comfort and understanding, because often people are afraid of things they don't understand.
100%. Right? 100%. Look, I'm still not sure about certain foods, but it may never happen, but I'll never eat octopus or I'll never eat lobster or crab because I just,
come on.
Yeah, I just don't like the way it looks. That's it. Can't get over it. I'm sorry. Anyway, Tory, it was great to have you on. I really appreciate the time and the knowledge that you're imparting here and talking about something obviously you seem very passionate about, and you're coming across as very passionate about Titl and how we can help, us in the real estate world, even outside the real estate world, just the local consumer, someone just, hey, keep an eye on your title. This is really good information. And I hope you guys have a lot of success down the road, and hopefully we'll be able to work with each other down the road as well. And again, everyone, check out Titl, check out the website. Check out my podcast, hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the follow button, follow Tory on all the social medias, and follow me on the social medias. You have my social medias. It's in my thing. They trust me. It's there. Anyway, all right. I'm Matthew Krinzman. This was the Krinzman Property Playbook. Thank you for joining us today. This was a great episode. I look forward to many more.
That's it for today's episode of the Krinzman Property Playbook. I hope you've gained some valuable insights and feel inspired to take your next steps in the real estate game. If you're ready to make a move or need expert guidance, let's connect. Whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest, I'm here to help you navigate the South Florida market with confidence. You can reach out to me directly through my website or on social media. Let's get the conversation started and make your real estate goals a reality. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on the Krinzman Property Playbook.